Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a beautiful plant-based facial mist spray made with coconut hydrosol as well as caffeine extract. I was inspired to create this formula by the Pacifica brand of the Coconut Essence Hydro Mist, and it's called Coconut and Caffeine Hydro Mist, and my daughter and I have been using this one and we actually love it. We've used it almost down to the bottom now. I use it to wet my makeup brushes with, to put into my mineral foundation, and then I use it just to spritz all over my face. And it really just gives you an instant glow and a refreshing bit of hydration to your skin. And since the hot summer months are coming up, I thought this would be a perfect time to go ahead and show you how I have recreated something very similar to the Pacifica Coconut Essence Hydro Mist Spray. In this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you how to put together this beautiful facial mist spray with a step-by-step tutorial visual process of how to do it. And if you would like the full written recipe plus a full written detailed step-by-step tutorial with amounts and percentages, please head on over to my Patreon campaign where you can unlock this recipe for just a small $5 pledge. In fact, June 24th marks the 3rd year anniversary of my Patreon campaign, and there are now almost exactly 3 years of recipes and tutorials to take advantage of over there. Every recipe I've ever published is still there for you to take advantage of at the $5 level. Also, if you're at the $7 level, the bonus recipe for June will be a cucumber and aloe facial mist spray. So I really hope that you'll click the link to the Patreon campaign and just check out all the great stuff we have to offer. There are also 4 other unique tiers, each with their own unique benefits. We do things like live monthly hangouts, live classes. We have monthly gift packages, as well as coupon codes to my favorite suppliers when you sign up. So there's a ton to take advantage of. I really hope you'll check it out. It's because of patrons like you that I can continue to keep bringing you great content every week. All right, let's make some beautiful facial mist spray. Okay, so before we get started, it's really important to make sure you go ahead and clean and sanitize your entire workstation. You don't want to introduce any bacteria to your facial mist spray. So in the Pacifica brand that I showed you a little bit earlier, the ingredients listed here were water, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, aloe vera extract, panthenol, allantoin, green tea extract, witch hazel, coconut water, caffeine extract, and preservative. So we have a lot of the same ingredients that we're going to be adding in to our facial mist spray, or our duplicate of the Pacifica brand Coconut Essence Hydro Mist Spray. So I wanted to go ahead and start out by weighing my powdered ingredients on this little tiny scale here. And then I'll talk to you about each ingredient that we are using and why we're using it. And I am just using this little tiny ½ ounce plastic container to weigh off some of my powdered ingredients first. So we're just making a small 100-gram batch today. And the first ingredient I'm going to be weighing off is some allantoin. Now, allantoin, or allantoin as I've heard it called, is a plant-based ingredient that's used to help soothe the skin. Allantoin comes from the comfrey plant, and it's known for its very soothing properties. You find it a lot in cosmetics. You also find it in after sun care. You see it in ointments and things like that also. So it's very gentle, very popular, and I believe effective. I've always kind of felt like this particular ingredient does help reduce redness. Those are just some kind of anecdotal findings, I think. Okay, so there's my allantoin. And then the next powdered ingredient we're going to be adding in here is some DL-Panthenol. And this is just going to add some vitamin B to our formula. And again, both allantoin and panthenol are found in the Pacifica brand. So we are just going to go ahead and add our powdered panthenol to this little container here. I got my Panthenol from Brambleberry, and I did get the Allantoin from Voyager Soap and Candle. And then the last powdered ingredient I'm going to be adding in here is some hyaluronic acid. Now, this is important. I have tried both because I wanted to see what it would be like when I was formulating this with a 20% hyaluronic acid stock to this recipe, which is a 1% hyaluronic acid stock, but I was going to use it at 20% in the recipe. And the medium weight hyaluronic acid creates a gel. So my stock was rather thick, like a facial serum. So using that at 20% was just too much for a spray bottle. It doesn't like to come out of the nozzles. So I switched to a super low molecular weight hyaluronic acid because this one has no gelling properties whatsoever. It dissolves into the water and it doesn't gel like the medium molecular weight hyaluronic acid does. So we are just going to go ahead and add in the super low molecular weight. And this one actually is said to penetrate the skin a little bit better than the medium weight. So we are using this one today. Okay, now these are all water-soluble powders. And what I'm going to do at this time is just go ahead and set this aside. And then I am going to weigh off the water phase of this recipe. This is really a super easy recipe to put together, a kind of a lot of fun. And if you have some of these ingredients on hand, you know, you can substitute some, and I'll talk about that a little bit as well. But we're going to go ahead and weigh off the distilled water for this recipe. So the distilled water in this recipe really is not really the bulk of the recipe, but I'm going to explain to you why. So we are using a little bit of distilled water here. That's a little bit too much. Okay, perfect. And then the bulk of this recipe is actually going to be some coconut hydrosol. Now, what I really liked about this one, the Pacifica brand, is it has a beautiful, sweet, kind of lightly fragranced, sweet coconut smell. So I wanted the ratio of coconut hydrosol. I did pick this up at Wholesale Supplies Plus. I wanted the ratio of the coconut hydrosol to be bigger than the distilled water ratio. And actually in facial mist sprays, you can use hydrosols up to 100%. They don't require any diluting. So that's what we're doing here. We're using kind of this as the bulk of the liquid ingredients here, just to kind of give it a beautiful smell. And the coconut hydrosol is very hydrating. It draws a lot of moisture to the skin, and it has a light smell. Okay, now you do not have to do this next step, but I find this to be easier to get the powdered ingredients all mixed in, is if you warm up your water and your hydrosol just a little bit and then add in your powdered ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the microwave for just probably 20 seconds just to get it a little bit warm before we add in our powdered ingredients. I'll be right back. All right, so I've gone ahead and warmed this up for about 20 seconds, and we're sitting right at about 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And so all I'm going to do now is sprinkle in my powdered ingredients. And the hyaluronic acid in here, I don't think I mentioned that for those of you that are unfamiliar with that ingredient. The hyaluronic acid acts as a wonderful humectant, and it's a beautiful anti-aging type product. So it's going to draw moisture to the skin. It's going to kind of fill in those fine lines and wrinkles temporarily. So I'm just gone ahead and added in my powdered ingredients, and then you just want to make sure and stir this in really well until all those powdered ingredients dissolve. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Your formula should look crystal clear when everything's dissolved, and I'll bring you right back when everything is completely incorporated. All right, so now that my powdered ingredients are completely incorporated into this, I'm going to go ahead and add in my next water ingredient or watery ingredient, and that's going to be the witch hazel. This is also something that's found in the original formula by Pacifica. Of course, we don't have exact amounts, so we cannot duplicate it exactly, and actually you probably really wouldn't want to duplicate it exactly because you want to make formulas your own. So this is going to be used here as a little bit of the witch hazel is going to give you a little bit of a toning effect. Also, it helps the formula to dry out on your skin quickly. It's a bit astringent. We're just adding this in. And this also has a nice cooling effect on your skin. Now, if you're allergic to witch hazel or you don't want to use witch hazel, you can definitely just use more distilled water. But yes, this is used to tone your skin. It balances out your skin oils. It's soothing and refreshing. And it does help to kind of depuff your skin. So that, for those reasons, I do like it. And the next thing we're going to be doing is adding in actually another really good humectant. And that, for this recipe, we're going to be using some sodium lactate. Now, sodium lactate is something that you can use in your cold process soap to create a harder bar of soap. It's a natural product. I got this from Brambleberry, but it's also a really, really good humectant. It's plant-based, and I like using the sodium lactate. The original recipe calls for glycerin. I'm using sodium lactate in this recipe because I really like sodium lactate. Doesn't feel as sticky as glycerin does. So for a lightweight formula like this, I prefer to use something like sodium lactate. And this is going to, again, just draw moisture to your skin. And then the next thing we're going to be adding in is our caffeine extract. Now, the caffeine extract, I got from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and the caffeine extract really does help to depuff your skin. And so I kind of like it when you're using it to help with like dark circles and stuff. When you use it in ointments or gels, you can put it under your eyes. It's supposed to help with dark circles, but it's also very good for just overall like depuffing and waking up your skin. So we are going to go ahead and add in our, excuse my dogs, we're going to go ahead and add in our caffeine extract. Okay. And then I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add in our preservative. So today I'm going to be using Liquid Germall Plus. I did pick up my Liquid Germall Plus from Amazon, I believe, and I'm going to get my little scale back out to weigh off a little bit here. And I like the Liquid Germall Plus because it's great in a wide range of pHs, and it works really good for watery formulas like this one. So this is the thing that's super interesting to me about these type of formulas, is you have watched me now put almost the whole thing together, and it's super easy. If you have the ingredients or similar ingredients to prepare something like this, you could make quite a bit of formula for relatively cheap. And I don't remember what we bought this little bottle for. This is a 4-ounce bottle. We're creating roughly the same amount. And I think we probably got this for about 15 US dollars. We've had it for a while, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm remembering accurately, but I'm thinking that it was right around the $15 range. And you can make a ton of this for relatively inexpensive, and it's a I think it's a nice and effective product, actually. I think it's nice to spray on your makeup brushes. It's nice to put in just directly onto your skin. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of that preservative out of this container, and then I'm using my spatula now just to make sure I get all that preservative off of my spatula. And we're just going to give it a good stir. And this one, you do pick up the witch hazel note, but it also has the beautiful kind of sweet coconut smell from that Hydrosol. So if you didn't want any of the witch hazel coming through, you could definitely reduce the amount. I'm pretty happy with the percentage that we are using in this recipe. I like the way that it feels, but you could always reduce it to make it more of a coconut type smell. All right, the last thing to do now is just to go ahead and bottle this up. And we are using a beautiful frosted glass spray bottle. And I did get this off of Amazon. I got a pack of them. So I'll go ahead and put the link so that you can buy these if you like them. I think they're really nice. They look beautiful and luxurious, and they're pretty high quality. So all we're going to do is go ahead and package this up. And that's it. And then it's ready to use. This is a 100-gram batch, and it fits perfectly in this one little container. So regarding substitutions, again, we talked about that witch hazel. You could just use more water if you didn't want to use more witch hazel. For the caffeine extract, you could use a green tea extract if you like, or a white tea extract. The other items I probably wouldn't really consider switching out. I guess you could use some aloe vera as well. So there it is. That's how easy it is to put together a coconut and caffeine facial mist spray. So last thing I'm going to do here is just go ahead and give you a little bit of a demo about how this works, and then that'll be it for today. All right, so let me show you how this works. So I've already primed the little pump in here. I just love this gorgeous bottle, actually. I think it's so pretty. So all we're going to do is just go ahead and you're going to hold it a few inches from your skin, from your face. You could also spray it in the air and kind of walk through it, or just hold it a few inches from your face, about 8 inches or so, and just give it a good mist. You can do it down here as well. And there you go. You have an instant beautiful glow, and you're giving your skin nutrients, vitamins, and lovely anti-aging properties. I hope you really liked this video. If you did, if it inspired you, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment or question below. Your questions and comments really mean a lot to me. I love answering them and reading them. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with a friend. All right, everybody. Bye. Keep shining.